Guys, this is the trading method I have used this year to go from 0 to 500,000 coins, pretty much from scratch. We've not really packed anything on the Road to Glory account that is tradable. This is a beginner-friendly method. It is what I do every year to hit about 1 million coins within the first week or two of the game. Anyone can do it. It's nice and simple, and it is chemistry-style trading. So just showing you here, this is from some of the cards we bought yesterday on stream. Pretty much all of these are from chemistry-style trading. There are a couple different methods I can show you today, but these are the profits. We've also got a Nedved we bought on stream and made profit off. If you want an icon trading video as well, drop a like on the video and I'll be sure to bring that out. But I know a lot of you won't have the coin budget for that right now. Yeah, this works most of the year. And like I say, beginner friendly, anyone can do this. It will work as long as chemistry styles are in EAFC, so it'll work in future years as well. There are 4 methods I'm going to show you here today, but please, I'm going to share a few tips at the end. Please stick around for those tips. You don't understand, right? Without these tips at the end, this method would have made me 300 or 200,000 coins. This is why people get it wrong. I guarantee if you go away from this video and you're not starting to make coins, come back and watch the tips at the end after watching the method. It is so important. Let's jump into why chemistry style trading works. It's simple as, right? If you look at a card like Diogo Dalot, he sells for about 1,200 coins is what his card sells for with no chemistry style. But an anchor chemistry style on the game right now costs about 1,000 coins, and a shadow chemistry style can cost up to 3,000 coins. So when someone's looking to buy Dalot for their team, if you look here, with an anchor, he sells for 1.7. You could even buy this 1.4, and he'll sell for 1.7 with an anchor, as people are trying to save coins when doing plays for their team like Dalot. So they'll buy them with the chemistry style already on. And similarly with Shadow, if you look here, he actually sells for near 3,700 or probably 3,500 coins with a Shadow on already. What this means is you can take advantage of this because when people relist their cards, they often don't take into account chemistry styles. And for example, if they had a Dalot with Shadow, they might list him just back up at 1,200 coins. And that's what we're going to take advantage of, okay? That's what all 4 methods take advantage of. So I think it's just good to know. Starting off with method 1, this is the one that I used to go from about 0 to 100,000 coins this year. And like the Dalot that I've just showed you, this is single player chemistry style trading. This is where you find a single player that has a nice gap between their base card and their card with a chemistry style in terms of price. And you're going to use that card to chemistry style trade. So for example, like I've just showed you with Dalot here, you can find out what his base card sells for, which in this instance is about 1.2 thousand coins, okay? You can then go and check what he sells for with an anchor, which when we checked was 1.7 thousand coins. The way we check this is just simply flick an anchor on, and you just go and check what he sells for. You have to go find this out for every card. And looking here for Dalot, I can see that 1.9s aren't really selling. 1.8s are selling because they're not too many of them. And the 1.7 seems to be his price point. So in my head, I'm thinking I can get 1.7 or 1.8 thousand coins for every Dalot with an anchor on. And when I check Shadow, we can see over here that I know I can get about 3.5 to 3.7 thousand coins for every Dalot with a Shadow on, right? Hunter is the other one that works. However, obviously this is Dalot, he's a defender. But you can do this with attackers with Hunter, with midfielders with all 3, or with defenders with Anchor and Shadow, okay? So we'll look at Dalot here, and all we're going to do is we're going to go to 1.2k, what he sells for. We're going to go to the 59th minute, and simply we're going to flick to this page here where you can see the chemistry style a bit bigger. We're going to compare price and back out on the Dalot. And what that does is that refreshes the market and it brings up all the new Diogo Dalots that have been listed, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to keep refreshing the market. And I'm not even looking for snipes, right? A Dalot popped up then for 700 coins. This is not the method. Those cards that pop up for a few hundred or a few thousand coins below what he sells for often have sniping bots on them and are just impossible to win. However, these chemistry style cards are much easier to win. So you do this on Dalot and you wait for an anchor or a shadow to pop up. And of course, this will be more active, like all the methods, when it is around content time, around 6 p.m. UK. There you can see, boys, we got a Dalot there with an anchor for 1.2. This time it took a couple minutes. So hopefully a lot of the time it'll only take a minute or two. It depends on the player, right? So if a player you're doing this on is taking ages for an anchor and a shadow to come up, just move on to another player, right? Mess around with it. Find players with nice gaps on the chemistry styles between their chemistry style price with an anchor or a shadow or a hunter and their regular price. And as long as they've got a nice gap between the two of those cards, it should be a nice little cheeky way to make some coins. However, I do prefer some of the other methods I will show you. But again, yeah, we've got 100 transfer list there items right now, so I can't show you. But I've just bought this Dalot at 1.2. I can list at 1.7. 500 coins profit nearly. And if you get a shadow on there, it's nearly 2 or 3,000 coins profit. So it does build up quick, okay? That was it using a defender. Another way you can do it is using attackers. And all you need for this to work is for there to be a gap, again, between the player without a chemistry style. And in an attacker's case, it's the difference between their price with the hunter chemistry style, as that's what we're looking for, right? So Anthony Gordon's a great example. If you look at him, his card without any chemistry style sells for about 1 to 1.1 thousand coins, okay? Then if you go and check what he is with a hunter chemistry style, he is about 1.8. He's between 1.6 and 1.8 thousand coins. So once again, there's a nice good 5 to 700 coin gap on that card there. So you know you can trade with that chemistry style card, right? It's as simple as that. This will work for so many cards in the game. You can go and find your own cards. I don't want to give you all the same filter because then you'll all jump on the same player. But go and find some. There's some really good hidden gems out here. But this is my favorite version of the player chemistry style method, right? It is finding a central midfielder who works well with all three chemistry styles, an anchor, a hunter, and a shadow, right? So if we look at Rabiot here, he sells for about, by the looks of it, 800 or even 750 coins, okay? As you can see, this Rabiot sells for about 800 coins, okay? All you need for this to work on a central midfielder is to check the gaps from what they sell for with an anchor, hunter, and shadow, okay? So checking Rabiot with an anchor, you can see he sells for about 1.3 thousand coins. There's a 500 coin gap there. Then we check hunter next, and on the hunter Rabiot, we can see that there is 1.8 thousand coins. So there's a 1,000 coin gap there. And then when we check shadow, you can see that he doesn't even sell for that. He sells for higher at near 2,500 coins, okay? So you're getting closer to a 2,000 coin gap there. So similar with Dallo, you just compare price and back out at the 59th minute to refresh the market, okay? But this time, you can buy any Rabiot with shadow, hunter, and anchor, okay? This doesn't just work for Rabiot, it works for pretty much all meta, cheap, central midfielders that would work well with an anchor, a shadow, and a hunter. So go and try some players, see what works for you. But this one was a coin printer for me up until about 100,000 coins until I moved on to the next method here. So the next method here is, again, chemistry styles, but it's a little bit more generic, okay? This way, you're not just going after one player, you're going after all the players with a chemistry style on. So the first one I want to show you is the anchor method here, right? It starts by finding out what is the cheapest gold rare with an anchor. So there's one there. You have to reset the chemistry style filter every time because EA have made a bad game. But you can check 900 coins, and you can go to the end and see, yeah, so it's about 900 coins, okay? But what you can see is a lot of these are not very meta, or you've got players that are slow, centre mids no one wants, and attackers, okay? All you're going to do is buy every single anchor gold rare that pops up at 800 coins and below, okay? Because you know you can sell them for 900 coins minimum, or if you get a good card like Rabiot, you can sell them for a lot more. So you're going to compare price and back out again, and you're going to buy any card like this Koulibaly that pops up 800 coins or below, okay? Now, what you need to understand with this method is, I'm giving you prices now based on how the current console market is. If you're looking at this in the future, or you're on PC, you need to go and understand that the prices might change, okay? All I've done is put gold rare and anchor in, and I've gone and found what the cheapest gold rare anchors are selling for, which at the minute is 900 coins, okay? If it's different, that's fine, but you just got to adjust the price accordingly. But we can have a look here. We can compare price back out at the 59th minute, and there you go. We can buy this Solek for 750 or this Kalulu 700. And this way, you're going to not win as many cards, but a lot more cards are going to pop up like this Molina here. And I promise you, it is not that hard to snipe these cards when you're used to it, okay? So we've just picked up this Molina at 700 coins. Let's go check what he sells for with an anchor. The anchor method, a lot more cards pop up, but it's very small profits on a lot of the cards, right? So in this Molina's case, you put Molina in, anchor, and you go and find what he's selling for with that anchor. So in his case, it's 1.4 or maybe even slightly more, because you're looking to sell at the average price, not the minimum. So it's probably even more than 1.4 thousand coins. So he seems like a real nice pickup at 700 coins. On our first couple of searches, he might even sell for up to 1.7 thousand coins because there's really not that many of him on the market with an anchor. Take a look at 2K. Yeah, only one. So he could sell for maybe up to 2,000 coins, right? That is a 1,000 coin profit on a card that took us a couple seconds to find. This is a really, really good filter. And this filter is what I used last year to make 1 million coins. However, this year, I think there are 2 better ones than the anchor, which I'll show you right now. The next one, boys, is very similar idea, but with shadow. So once again, gold rare shadow, and go and find what the cheapest gold rare shadows sell for. And it's going to be 900 coins. So once again, you know you can sell any midfielder and defender with a shadow for 900 coins, which means anything here that pops up for 800 coins and below, you can buy. So once again, you compare price backing out on this 59th minute on the last card on the market, and you're looking for any other gold rares with a shadow to pop up after this, okay? There we can go. We got Gabriel Jesus there, but again, don't buy forwards on this shadow filter. There we go. We got an Ake pop up there. I've just bottled the snipe, right? But if you win that Ake for 800 coins, which I just bottled, you win that for 800. You would then, similarly to Anchor, go and check what this Nathan Ake sells for with a shadow, which will be around, it looks like to me, around 1.4 or 1.5 thousand coins with a shadow, okay? So he's not a big profit gap. Like I say, he's not got a big of a gap as the Molina, but a lot of the cards will. So he's looking like he's selling for about 1,400 coins with the shadow, which again would have been 600 coins profit on the first card that showed up, okay? And on these generic filters, a lot more cards show up, okay? With the shadow filter, just be aware, yes, there is bigger profits between the cards. However, you're going to win less of the cards because there's more competition there, which is why I think this next filter is even better than the previous two, okay? The next filter is the same idea, but with Hunter. And again, very, very similar. You just need to go and find what the cheapest gold rare with a Hunter is, which in this case normally is around 1,100 coins, right? Same idea. You're going to compare price back out, and you're going to look to buy any attackers like this Ferran Torres that pop up. In this case, I'd say below 900 coins, right? All you're looking for is whatever the minimum price they sell for. You know you can sell your cards for 1.1k with a Hunter. So you need to buy cards below that and just be looking to buy midfielders and attackers. Of course, don't buy a card like this, but Balerdi, who's a centre-back with a Hunter that no one's going to want. Stick to meta attackers and meta midfielders in this case, okay? Here we go. We got a Moise Keane for 900, just straight away pretty much, right? Again, you can buy that Moise Keane for 900. And as you can see, he only sells for 1.1k. He's one of the worst ones you can pick up. But a lot of these cards here that I pick up on this filter sell for 2,000 to 2,500 coins and even more, right? You get Cherky on this filter, Gordon, you get Yildiz, you get a lot of cards that pop up like Cunha that sell for a lot more, right? I've just bought this Cunha for 1,100 coins, which brings me nicely into the most important bit of this entire video, which is the bonus tips at the end, because the reason people go wrong with chemistry style trading is that they don't realize these following few tips, okay? These are really, really, really important to make coins using chemistry style trading. These tips alone will get you to 1 million coins. Firstly, when you're doing these generic filters, like the Hunter, the Shadow, and the Anchor generic filters that I've just showed you, okay? The way you make a lot of coins on these filters is starting to learn the prices, okay? This Cunha just popped up for 1.1 thousand coins, which when I said to you the buy price before at 900 coins, that's only for players that you don't know the price of. When you start to do these filters more and more, and you learn what the players sell for, in this case Cunha, you know that if this player sells for more than 1.1 thousand coins with a Hunter, then you can buy for 1.1 thousand coins and make a profit, okay? Cunha, for me, I've sold him before at 1,500 coins with a Hunter, right? So I know that I can buy this card for 1.1 thousand coins with a Hunter and make coins. The reason this is so important is because the competition on these generic filters is really high when a card pops up for 900 or below coins. But when a card pops up for 1,000 or 1,100 coins, in this case, on the Hunter filter, there is way less competition because not everyone knows the prices. What this means is go and learn the prices when you're doing these methods, and you will double or triple the coins you're making. I'm so serious, okay? The next thing you need to learn is just a slight tip that is to do with how EA have made the game, right? This is just something you need to know when trading in general this year, and it'll be the same in future years as it's been in the game for a while, right? When you're doing a method like this, when you go to the 59th minute, just in general, okay? If there are more, there's a perfect example here. If there's more than one card over the hour, so when we say over the hour, all we mean is these two cards have longer than 59 minutes left, okay? This has been listed for 3 hours, and this has been listed for 3 hours and 44 minutes. So they're both over the hour. If there's more than one card over the hour, the compare price back out filter doesn't work because it doesn't reset the market. It's essentially a glitch, or I think EA are intending it to happen for whatever reason. But just know, 2 players or more over the hour, so 2, 3, 4, 5, this filter doesn't work, right? The market just doesn't refresh. So you're not going to see any cards pop up in the 59th minute here. Just a little bug in the game. So you can only do this if one card is above the hour. If you're trying to do a filter you normally do, and there's more than one card above the hour, you can fix the filter by moving the bid around to try and get rid of one of the cards out of the filter. So in this example, you can see this Ayazabal has got a 1.1k bid on him. So if you change your bid in the filter to a maximum 1,000 coins, this Ayazabal won't show up in the filter because his current bid is above that, and you'll just get this Trossard, which means there will again only be one player above the hour, and you can go back to sniping. However, that is not the most important tip. The next most important tip, which in my opinion makes this whole method work, and if you are not making coins with this method, it is simply down to this. This is how to sell your cards when it comes to chemistry style trading. And this is what I get the most questions about and frustrates me the most when I see people doing this wrong, okay? I'm just going to take a random player in Mohamed Kudus, right? Let's say I've just bought Mohamed Kudus with a Hunter on. I might have been doing a single player method or the generic method. It doesn't really matter. But I've just bought as Mohamed Kudus with a Hunter for 1,000 coins, let's say, right? I'm now checking what he sells for. So I go up and I look, right? And I see 3 here at 1.8, 1.7, and 1.8, okay? We can actually even go up one further to 1.9, and I will show you why in just a second. At 1.9 thousand coins with a Hunter, this is what Mohamed Kudus looks like, right? Most people I know who are new to this method would sell their Mohamed Kudus at 1.6 thousand coins, so it's the cheapest on the market, okay? If you do that, you are doing the method wrong, and you will very, very quickly learn that you're not going to make too many coins doing this. When you're doing the method, the idea is to sell for the average price this card sells for with a Hunter and not the lowest price. What that means is this Mohamed Kudus clearly to me sells for both 1.9 and 1.8, especially with a Hunter. As you can see, there's only 2 with a Hunter for 1.8, and they don't get past 49 minutes by the looks of it, right? This means this card will 100% sell at 1.8k with a Hunter at the minute. So if I got a Kudus, I'm listing him at 1.8 or even 1.9 thousand coins. And to take it a step further, if I bought 2 or more of these Kudus, I would stagger the listing. So I'd maybe list one at 1.9, one at 1.8. If I bought another one, I might list that one at 1.7. I wouldn't then go any lower than that, right? Okay. The reason this is so important is if I list my Mohamed Kudus at 1.6, and then you go buy one with the Hunter and list them at 1.5, and then someone else who's doing the method lists theirs at 1.4, very quickly, there's no longer a gap between Mohamed Kudus and Mohamed Kudus with a Hunter, and the method stops working on that particular card, okay? So that is the most important tip in the entire video, and there are 2 more that you need to know to maximize the profits with this method, okay? The next one is how you sell the cards in terms of time frames, and I'm just going to show you how I do it. It's a personal preference thing, but I think you should do it as well. You should list all of your chemistry style cards for 1 hour, every single hour you're awake when possible, using a companion app or on the game. List them for every single hour for 1 hour, okay? Then, a lot of these cards spike in price overnight when there's less supply on the game. So I then list them for 6 to 12 hours overnight, but only overnight. If you list them for 6 to 12 hours in the day, they will not sell. It just doesn't work because there's more supply on the game, okay? So I list all my cards for 1 hour throughout the day, and then 6 to 12 hours just overnight when I'm not going to be on the game, and the card spikes in price. And the last, and again, really important tip is look at how many cards I've got on my transfer list here, okay? This method is a bulk method. I make 1 million coins a year doing this in the first couple of weeks because I have 100 cards selling pretty much all the time. I've left these cards here to show you for the video, but normally I will just have 100 cards selling all the time, okay? So as you can see, as soon as I'm done this video, I'm going to clear my transfer list, go and buy more cards, get 100 selling as quick as possible. As soon as one sells, buy another one. And it is just rinse and repeat, okay? This is a simple thing of the more time you put into this method, the more coins you have. You could sit and do this for 12 hours straight in a day and hit 200,000 to 300,000 coins in 1 day of playing. It is really, really that simple. Boys, if you're new to this, it can sound really intimidating, but I promise you it's simple when you get the hang of it. But any questions at all, leave them down in the comments and I will get to every single one of them. If this helped you out at all and you've made any coins whatsoever, leave a like on the video. I really do appreciate it. And let me know what other trader methods you want to see next. And I'd be happy to put a video out on them. If you're loving the game at the minute, you probably want to get all of those silver icons as well. And I've made a video on how to quickly get as many of those silver icons in the objectives as quick as possible. So you can check that out down below here. And like always, boys, until next time, I'll see you in a bizzle.